Hey guys, Punisher88 here. So, it's Saturday, and to all my viewers out there, you know what Saturday means. That's right, it's weekend review time. So, I was thinking, well, not really thinking, I've had the book for, well, past week now, and I mentioned in my last video that most probably I would be doing a video review about it. So, and I said I didn't want to get ahead of myself, mentioning a title ahead of time and then not getting to it. But this time I'm coming through on it for you guys. So today's weekend review is on Secret Origins #1, the origin of the Golden Age Superman. That's right. So, where do I start? Well, when I say where do I start, I don't mean to say it in a disgusted way or anything, because I haven't read I haven't really read a comic in a while that where I was like, I don't like it. I have read comics where I do have that, where I do say something like that, but it's very rare. The last one that actually really made me say, "Oh, I don't like this," was about a month ago when Marvel put out their 100th anniversary issues, where everything was set in the future, and the Fantastic Four one, I just wasn't a fan of it. I picked it up because to get all 5 of them, but after reading it, I was like, ugh, I wasn't happy with it. Anyway, back to the comic at hand. So, again, what can I say? Well, starting off the story, it's basically your typical Superman origin. And actually, one thing, when I started reading it, you find they put a little blurb or whatever, and you find out that this story actually takes place after the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths. So, because this was put out in April '86, and I believe Crisis finished in like March or mid-April. I don't know. Anyway, I still haven't read Crisis yet. Yes, that's right. You heard me. I haven't read Crisis yet, and I've been wanting to collect all 12 books first. And I know I have the novel at home. I said that already, but there's just something about reading the comic, So anyway, so you find out this takes place after Crisis. So all the Golden Age characters are no more. They're gone. And it even says that in the book. This is a different Superman. The Golden Age Superman is gone. Everything from that world is kaput, finished. So I was like, okay, well, this should be interesting, So the first couple pages of the book is, again, like I said, your typical Superman origin, and you see him as a baby on Krypton with his parents, and you see the big earthquake thing that starts, and then they put Kal-El into the little spaceship and send him to Earth. Then he gets to Earth, and you see the whole, John and Martha Kent, they find him, I'm sure you guys out there from watching Smallville, or or the comic readers out there, I know you guys know Superman's, his life. There's not too many people out there I know that don't know Superman's origin. So anyway, so it goes on, and you see uh, John Kent. He's he's having a talk with a young Clark about his powers and everything, and how he has to use his powers for good, and he has to be careful because if he uses them in a wrong way, people will be scared of him. But whenever the opportunity arises, that he should use his powers for, helping people and everything. So okay, so that's the end part of that story. That's the actual origin part. But what I like about this book is it's part origin and part of a entire comic book story mixed together. Um, as I'll get to that. So I'm reading along, and you see Clark now as an adult because Martha and John died, and so he goes to Metropolis, and so he goes to find a job. Well, we all know Clark going to get a job at the Daily Bugle. Well, in this story, it's not called the Daily Bugle. It's called the Daily Star. So when I saw that right away, I was like, okay, this is different. And anyway, so he goes to get a job at the Daily Star, and the editor he tells Clark that because you have no experience, we can't use you, blah blah blah. Okay, and when he leaves, it's the first time you see where he does the whole rip the shirt, boom, Superman. So, and he's like, I'm gonna get this job no matter what. So he hears that there's some crime, and a guy was framed for killing someone, blah blah blah. So Superman did a rescue, and so it goes on for a bit and everything, and then there's this one part of the book, and when I started reading it, I was like, oh, is this the story that I think it is? And I see there's this car chase and everything, and so then Superman starts chasing because also you see there's one part where Clark, he he goes on a date with Lois Lane, and so they're at this dance and everything, and these tough thug guys, they go to dance with Lois, and um, Superman lets her dance with them because he doesn't want to fight them or anything, because he doesn't want to show like his strength and everything. So he pulls the whole coward routine in that. And anyway, so that night, after all the whole dance thing, leads to that car chase thing because she's with them. They kidnapped her or something, and Superman starts chasing the car, and it progresses, and he's still chasing. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is the story I think it is. Sure enough, when I turned the next page, there's a 3-panel page, 2 small panels, and 1 big one. And it is exactly the story I thought it was going to be. They pote. The third big panel picture on the page that I saw was the iconic of iconic Superman pictures. Just lifting that car above his head. So I guessed it, and now from seeing this picture, I'm sure you guys can guess it. This is Action Comics #1, the story anyway. And when I saw that, I was like, yes! Because, let's face it, I've never got my hands on, or I've never even seen an actual copy of Action Comics #1. because they're like ultra super duper rare and they're like a gazillion jillion dollars. But so yeah, so after reading that, I was like, oh, nice. And so then it goes on, and then Superman saves Lois Lane, but now this is the first time Superman is meeting with Lois, and so she's scared at first, and he's all like, "Oh, don't be scared, I'm basically saying I'm a good guy, and so then after that, um, the very last page, Clark, he's all like, "Oh, sorry for last night, Lois, and everything," and she's basically just daydreaming, and well, Clark can tell who she's dreaming of, but anyway, so she's thinking of Superman and everything. And then the very last panel of the book is it's like a little there's like another blurb, and it tells that it gives a little like insight into the future of Superman, and it tells about in the 1950s, Superman and Lois Lane got married, and you know live happily ever after type of deal. But again, going from the beginning of the book, this Lois Lane and even this wedding and it's all wiped out now because of the whole crisis thing. So yeah, and then like all the old comic books, it has the you know the editor's page thing at the end where you could send in your snail mail and all that stuff. So yeah, so again, the story was great, and one of the things that got me is the cover alone. I love that cover. I mean, the also again the iconic, you know, Action Comics #1 picture, and then when you look closely, you realize the covers, the heroes on the cover. So I mean, you got Superman, and then let me move my hand here. Then you got this helmeted guy is Doctor Fate. For those of you guys who don't know, who is also a very cool DC character. He's pretty awesome. Then down here, we don't know who that is because, well, it's just a head with some hair, so who knows. Then over here, that's the Golden Age, the first Flash, not the Barry Allen or the Wally West. No, that's the first Flash right there. And then you go up, and you got Wonder Woman. You can tell by her tiara here. And then this guy, I'm not sure who he is. I want to say it's Spectre, because I know back in DC in the Golden Age, I believe Spectre was part of DC, I think, or something. Not entirely sure, but I could be wrong. So anyone out there who has this book or has read this, or who has this book, and you guys really know your DC characters, let me know or something. So just so I'm not making a wrong. Uh, I don't know the word right now, but anyway, a wrong assessment or whatever, So yeah, but so the story was great, cover awesome. I'm a sucker for comic book covers, and then like I always say, do I recommend this book? Darn right I do. So I recommend this whole run, this whole series. These stories are awesome. So and also, if you can find this anywhere, if any of your local shops sell back issues or old books, and you can find this for a good price, pick it up. It's awesome. So like I said, I was lucky to find it at Comic Con this past weekend or last weekend, and I mean, it's not like beaten up or anything. I mean, it's in good shape. So I was happy about that. And so yeah, so that brings me to the end of the weekend review. And see, anything else to tell you guys? Yes, there's one thing. Yesterday, or technically Thursday, when I posted my Thursday review of current comics, I mentioned that I was recording my Comic-Con haul video. Well, I did record it. It's done. It's on my computer. It's ready to go. The only thing is I didn't get a chance to post it yet, and so after this video, I'll be posting it. So just a couple things to let you guys know. One, it is pretty long, but for those of you who've stuck around to watch my videos, you know I tend to record pretty long videos because of my, let's see, use of rambling a lot and detail. But so yeah, so it's 28 minutes long, and it was recorded on my cell phone because for some reason my charger didn't want to charge, and then I found out later on because my power bar was off. Oh well. And two, at the beginning of the video, when I'm showing some of the stuff I got, when I was recording it on my phone, when I was holding them up, they looked like they were backwards. So I do mention at the beginning of the video, I don't know if these come out backwards or not. But after watching the video later on, I find out that when the viewer watches it, it's like this. It's the proper way. So that's just a couple things I wanted to let you guys know. And so yeah, so after I do this, I'm going to be posting my haul video, and also, if you guys might have noticed, starting with this video, I now have a new intro to my vids. I spent a long time, well, not really a long time, but I spent some time last night making that, so I just figured, it looks cool. It's about time. So, yep. So that's about it for now. So stay tuned till for the haul video, and then for next Thursday for our next current comic. And till then, like usual, like I always say, like, subscribe, comment, share even, if you want to share these videos, that's awesome, and I'll see you guys next time. Laters.